Skinamarink-a-dink-a-dink, Skinamarink-a-doo. I love you.
Hello, and welcome to Spooky Sips, where we put our love of horror movies into a podcast and sip some spirits along the way. I'm one of your hosts, Yvette, here with my co-hosts, Laura and Brianna.
Hello.
Hey, hey. All right, so we're going to talk about Skinamarink, and it's not going to take you long to know our feelings on it, but we watched Skinamarink. It is from 2022, and I'm not going to read you the full description because that's the whole plot, so I will just tell you that we are in a hallway, and there's the back of a child, and it's very staticky. And that's where the movie starts.
Yeah.
So why did we watch this again?
Let's start with that. Okay, let's assign blame.
Which one can I blame?
I would like to apologize because a few months ago I visited Japan and we went to this movie-themed bar, which was a really cool bar. And outside of the movie-themed bar, there was a poster. And the poster just said Skinamarink, and it looked really creepy. So then I looked up like 30 seconds of the preview, and I thought, oh, maybe this is like something that didn't get big in America, but like is like some kind of, more like Japanese popular movie or something. I'm not sure. So for some reason, we don't hear much of it here. And I was like, well, maybe we're missing out. And so let's watch something that's maybe bigger in Japan than it is here.
Yeah.
That was my logic. I bet maybe the poster was like free or something because they were trying to like get marketing for this terrible movie.
I mean, okay, I'll start us off because I will say when it opens, I was like, oh,
me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the lighting is really dark and blue. Like it's that kind of VHS type feel.
Yeah.
And
very grainy.
Very grainy, very staticky. And the noise is just that like static that you hear that varies high and low levels throughout.
Yeah.
It was very much Sinister vibes.
Yes.
I thought.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The very beginning.
So I will say when it started, I was like, okay. I actually was like, here we go.
Yeah.
And we do see that it's set in 1995.
Right.
And yeah, there's like old school like opening credits.
Yeah.
Which I kind of did appreciate. So yeah, the first like 3 minutes of the movie, I was into it. I thought it was pretty good.
And at first, like it's got like, this little kid is, I think, sleepwalking kind of. In the scene, we've got a dad and then a sister eventually. Now you don't really see them. You see like parts of them, like their feet or the back. And the little boy, we hear him like tumble and then start crying. And the dad asked the other daughter, like, what happened? And he fell down the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah. We get him like on the phone talking to someone.
Yeah.
I was kind of assuming it was the wife that he was calling.
That's
what it felt like. Yeah.
Like it was Kevin, right? Like Kevin fell down the stairs, but he's okay. Whatever.
Like he was just sleepwalking. Yeah.
And so then we get all of these really quiet, still shots of the house.
Yeah.
And like it's just jumping around different parts of the house. Usually it's the ceiling or a wall. And you're just waiting. And it's so slow and still and dark. Like I was just kind of waiting for a ghost to come out or something and just all this anticipation. But you know how you guys have both watched Family Guy, right? I feel like one of the hallmarks of Family Guy is like one of the characters will do a joke, but they'll make it go too long.
Yeah, and they'll make it go
too long, and then they'll make it go too long. So like it starts to become unfunny, and then suddenly it becomes funny again because it went on too long.
Yes.
This movie did the part where it just one thing that was good goes on too long, but then it never stopped.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it at the beginning, I think it did kind of work where it's like, oh, everything is so dark and the angles are so weird that your mind starts to play tricks on you because it's like, oh, well, there's definitely something in that dark corner. And it's
Yes,
like,
I'm like,
oh,
what am I
okay.
looking at?
Oh, there's definitely something in that dark corner that's about to pop out. But it's like, I feel like eventually, instead of it just being that like it held tension the whole movie, I just kind of was like, there's nothing there. And I know
Right.
there's nothing there. So I'm not really going to keep looking,
Yeah.
you know?
And yeah, so at this point, you know, we're like 20 minutes in and we're both kind of like, because Laura and I watched it together. We're kind of like, do you think this is the whole movie? Like, and then we get a couple of moments where it's the same thing, but it's like they show a window and then it flashes and the window's gone. And then we see the window and it flashes and it's gone. They do this with a couple different areas.
Like doors and windows.
But here's the thing. That what the fuck does that mean? Because the thing is, like, it flashes back and forth that you're like, is this a nightmare? But then you read the IMDb description and you learn that the house becomes sealed. But I would not have gathered that on my own. Because it's not like they have a door and they seal it and that's done. They do it in such a way that, like, if I had not been given that information, I don't think I would have known that was what happened.
Yeah. Right. I mean, to clarify, we're saying what the story was, but like this movie didn't try to tell a story.
At all.
There was no story or like plot necessarily.
No.
Or like characters.
No.
Or even a real timeline.
No, not really.
It just was a movie of nothing.
It was like a movie that just did a bunch of random pictures, like grainy pictures of parts of the house. And then sometimes, you get like a little a hint of something like, the window is, they show a picture of a wall and then the window and then the wall again. So it's like, okay, the window's not there. And the kid does say, where did it go? But again, it's not like.
You're not really led to that. Yeah. And so again, at this point, I'm done. Like, I'm like, what? Because we look and we have another hour to go. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
So I had started Googling and then I found, and then, you know, Laura's husband behind us, Jaden, found like there's something that happens in the bedroom. So Laura and I just fast forwarded to the bedroom scene because we were
God, you fast forwarded?
Yes.
Well, we did it
in small
like
increments.
little
like
5 minute.
Yeah, we did quick little blips.
Honestly, this movie's probably better at 2 times speed.
But I was like, I can't sit here for another hour with this.
Yeah.
Because also, and it did warn you, but I see this warning all the time and it doesn't usually bother me. Like, I am someone that gets migraines. And there were some times where it was so flashy and staticky that like I had to like turn away.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Because I was like, I can't watch this. Like, it's too much.
Yeah.
And any of the fear that you maybe had been anticipating is gone at this point. Because I was just annoyed. Like,
I like. At first, when I was watching this movie and not caring about anything, I was trying to think, maybe I'll do how to improve your patience as a psych segment. Because I was like, what the hell is this movie?
Like, now, does that mean that you guys skipped past the fact that the toilet also disappears?
No, we did see that.
Okay.
We did see that.
Honestly, I would say it was probably only about like 12 minutes that we didn't watch because it was just like little blips that we fast forwarded.
It was just the long scenes of the molding, which at this
gosh, Rick is carrying a knife. Did you just walk by the screen? It's a plastic knife, but all of a sudden he just came up and he's carrying a knife. I'm sorry.
Derek, by the way, is not her husband. This is
Derek
a cat.
Is a cat.
Derek.
Sorry.
That's amazing. I'm excited to watch the playback from this.
That was the best part of this podcast episode so far.
That was more exciting than the movie.
It was more exciting. That's what I meant.
That was scarier.
More exciting than the movie.
It was. So at this point, I was Googling because I was like, okay, what the fuck is the point of this movie? But I saw my favorite review. I'm going to read it aloud to you.
Okay.
Skinamarink is a terrifying film for people frightened of looking at walls and ceilings. If you're not frightened of looking at walls and ceilings, then it is a very poor film indeed. Are you frightened of looking at walls and ceilings? And I was like, that is the best review. for this movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah.
It is walls and ceilings
Yeah.
and crown molding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like I want to talk about the parts that were not the walls and ceilings.
Yeah,
but
so let's talk about that.
we need
Yeah.
to emphasize for the listeners who listen to us but don't watch the movie that 96% of the movie is just staticky walls and ceilings or looking at video of old cartoons.
Yes.
Yes. And the old cartoons are kind of fun.
And it's got the cute music.
Hour of this movie was pretty, like, I feel like the last 20, 30 minutes, more stuff starts happening that, like, I would consider more like a story, like plot, you know, like events occur that we can talk about.
Yeah.
But like the first hour is quite slow. Like, it's weird to call a 90-minute movie a slow burn.
Yeah.
But it is a slow, you're like just watching.
It's a slow burn with no payoff.
Yeah.
Because the honest truth is, like, even what we get, it's not enough.
No.
Yeah.
Even if it could be good, we're so mad at this point that, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so some of the small things that happen. So we've talked about the windows and doors kind of go away. We do see at one point the kids are trying to, like, they try to, I think, call their parents because their parents have disappeared. Yeah. So I don't even know if we mentioned that yet. So they try to call the parents and then the phone won't dial. Like, first you could tell they tried to call 7 numbers and then 3. So they try to call parents, try to call 911. The lights start disappearing or going out. Yeah, the toilet goes away.
Their toys go up on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple jump scares.
Like a doll.
Yeah.
And his Legos that we see.
And then we do start hearing some strange voices. And at this point, this is maybe when things start to pick up, because at this point I wrote down, oh my gosh, the camera is moving. This is the most exciting thing that's ever happened. Because instead of it just being a still shot, the camera actually moved.
Yeah, it starts to, like, actually, like,
shots.
Yeah, like, the most of, like, the first hour, it feels like what I imagine looking at, like, security camera footage is, where it's like, it's just stuck,
CCTV.
and then it just cuts, and then you see the next angle, and then it just cuts, and you see the next angle, and then we finally get the camera, and then it moves.
This is, I think, when we get to the bedroom scene.
Yeah.
Because right before this happened, that's when I wrote down, I wrote, this movie is an exercise in patience.
Yeah.
Because
I was getting madder and madder every 15 minutes that went by and nothing. I was like, I am so mad right now.
I mean, I think this movie more than anything is like, you either like it or you don't. Like, it's style, very experimental, very, like, it's a unique type of thing that is not going to appeal to a lot of people.
And here's the thing that I think made me the most frustrated is that, like, I've seen a lot of terrible horror movies, right? But there's at least content. Like, when we did Pure, that was a horrible movie, but at least, like, things were happening.
Yeah.
But I think part of what made this frustrating is, like, I think the goods were there. Like, the premise is actually really interesting. Once you start to get in the psychology of what's happening, it's actually a really, like, interesting concept. And what they were doing, I feel like could have been so good if they had then mixed that with actual, like, movie. I just think that it was executed poorly. So it was frustrating because it was like, well, shit, this could be really good. And the little moments that were scary, they had some oomph behind them.
Yeah.
It was just, it didn't actually pull it off.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's one of those movies where, like, you know, you can get some theories and some analysis and stuff for it. And, like, I get what they were going for. And I think when you see the theories and, like, put more thought and stuff into it, like, it does make it better. But I do think a movie should stand on its own without all of that.
Yes.
Agreed.
You know, and, like, when you need all of that additional to make it good, maybe it's just not as good. Like,
Right.
I agree.
Because I feel like even if they had done like 50% of the still shot creepy vibes, but then actual story building or, you know, acting or whatever, even that would have been a lot, but it would have been maybe okay. This was just way, way, way too much.
Because Laura and I even said if this was a 30-minute short, I think it could have been really cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like if they could have done that instead, I think I would have liked it more.
Yeah.
I think that
Well-
would have been a better format for them.
Well, he did do a short first as kind
Oh.
of proof of concept for this movie.
Okay.
So prayers are
Interesting.
answered. You can go watch it. I also think it maybe does more actual like story,
Okay.
you know?
Okay, so
And I think actually if you watch them in conjunction, some of the stuff from the short leads to like theories of what this
Oh.
movie was.
Interesting.
that would have been way better then.
Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
have time to watch it, but there is a short. So
Okay.
the person who made this, the director, he is actually a YouTuber. And his channel was that he would take people's nightmares. Like he would ask people to send him nightmares and they would like make videos off of that. So
Okay.
that was what the inspiration was for the short, and then for this movie, it's just
Cool.
a nightmare.
Okay.
Right.
Which I did see that, like, you
Yes.
know, since apparently none of us liked it, I can come in to defend the movie. But
Right.
like, it did feel how a nightmare feels.
Especially like a childhood nightmare, like when you're little, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Or for me, like even not necessarily nightmare, but just when you get freaked out in the dark as a kid, because you're kind
Yeah.
of just looking around, and it is the way that this is shot is how a kid would see things, like from low
Mhm.
down, looking up at the ceiling, like just imagining things that aren't there. It did capture that.
yeah.
Again, yeah, just not in a exciting way.
You just have to be very patient with this. This is more of an experience.
Yes.
But I do think it showed how a nightmare goes. Because, like, I feel like that's how dreams are, right? They're, like, very discombobulated, where it's like,
Mhm.
okay, you go to this room, and now you're in this room, and something's just wrong. And, you know,
Right.
like, I do think it felt like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Also, for the first time in my life, not because of this movie, it was before this, I experienced sleep paralysis, which was super not fun. So I feel like watching this movie after maybe hit a little different, having like just experienced that and then watching this where it was like, yeah, like that is what that feels like, right? Like it just feels scary. And it's like you're home, but you're not home. You're looking around, but things look different. And there's all these dark corners. And like, so I do think that was kind of an interesting way to watch this movie, is like having experienced that
bet.
for the first time ever and then seeing this. I do think that made it a lot scarier for me, just like sitting
Totally.
down watching it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sorry you had that.
It sucked.
Because I
I
get
would
it's
not
awful.
recommend.
I get it all the time and I hate it. Well, I haven't had it recently actually.
Yeah.
But I used to get it a lot more and it's awful.
You know, it's so
Yeah.
funny because Laura and I were actually just talking about that because
Mhm.
we were saying like what makes mine better makes hers worse.
Mhm.
Like I have a nightlight in my bathroom that's attached to my room because like that actually helps me not have it as often.
Oh.
But I also like I can't have my closet door open because I feel like that triggers it because then there's someone standing in it.
Yes, that my
The first
closet
time I
was half
told my
open.
husband that, he was like, "What do you mean there's someone standing in it?" I was like, "It's fine, don't worry about it."
Yeah. No, that my nice shadow demon walked out of the
Yes.
closet. So
Mhm.
I get
Nope.
it.
Ugh.
Gotta shut that closet.
See, well, and that's why. So for Brianna, having that little nightlight in the bathroom helps. But for me, I want it to be pitch black because for me, having a light create shadows in the room. That's what then makes the monster
Yeah.
in the dream. Like I'll be in the dream, and so an example would be, there's like a coat rack in the room, and I see it before I go to bed. And then in the dream, I wake up and I know that it's no longer a coat rack. It has become a monster or like somebody trying to kill me. And so I need it to be dark so that I can't see any shapes or shadows.
There's no shadows.
And that helps.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah. No fun. But I do think it captured nightmares, sleep terror.
Agreed.
All right, so
Okay, so
Laura, tell us
finally-
what happens in the
Okay, so
bedroom.
finally something happens. The kid hears the voice and it says to come up to the upstairs. So the kid goes upstairs and this part was actually kind of cool because it's so dark. Like, is someone in the room or am I imagining that? Is someone in the room? There is someone in the room and it's his dad.
Yeah.
Or is it?
And he says,
I mean, we wouldn't know because we've never seen the dad,
that's true.
Yeah.
but
It's true. But he's just kind of like, I feel like at first he was standing, but then he was sitting on the bed.
Yeah, he was like sitting on the edge of the bed.
Yeah.
And then he tells the kid to look under the bed, which again just captures all the things when you're a little kid that it is terrifying.
I still won't look under the bed.
Yeah, no, thank you.
No, absolutely not. And then all of a sudden, the mom is on the other side of the bed.
Yeah. So he looks under the bed, doesn't see anything because he's like, oh, I don't see anything. But when he comes back up, dad gone, mom is there.
And then this is when I wrote down that we get just a shot of mom's back for approximately 45 minutes.
Yeah. There are some drawn out.
Yeah. Oh, so I think it was Kaylee that went upstairs.
Oh, no, that's right. Yes.
Not Kevin.
It was her. It wasn't Kevin.
Because after about 45 minutes of mom's back, she then does ask Kaylee to close her eyes.
Yeah.
And then someone said there's something here. I don't know if I knew who said that.
Was that the mom?
Maybe. There's someone here. Yeah. And then we just start to hear the mom moaning. Like, I think she disappears again. And we just hear her moaning, but it almost was like kind of like sexy time sounds. It made me very uncomfortable. But then we hear this moaning.
No, it was.
It was. But then like cracking. Like it almost sounded like
bones.
Her back got broken half or something.
Yeah.
And then, Kaylee goes backstairs. We hear a creepy voice say her name.
But again, this was another moment of subtitles where it said bones cracking. And I was like, okay, would I have thought that if I hadn't just read it? Like, would my mind have gathered what that sound was?
It sounded like bones to me. I don't know how to.
I know. It's just once you read it, how do you know?
Right, true.
Yeah.
Like in horror movies.
The captions do add, because there's a scene right at the end too where it was also like, without the captions, this would not have been clear.
Like, I wish that horror movies had like a slightly delayed captioning system.
Right.
So that like it came at the end of the moment.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it ruins it.
You know?
Yeah.
That'll be my $1 million idea. So I'll edit that out of this.
Okay.
So that I can make my,
cut that out. Cut that out.
Make my fortune.
So then I think we get back to like the boring still shots.
Yeah.
And my mind is wandering. So then the pondering that I did at this time was, and everyone I've taken a poll, like a kind of a vote of lots of people in my life to see how many people have done this. But when I was a kid, I used to like lay on the floor or like lay on my bed, but put my head like upside down a little bit and look at the ceiling and the door frames and imagine if you were reversed, like if you were walking on the ceiling instead of the ground and like how you'd have to like step over door frames and stuff.
Yeah.
So who have both of or either of you done that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I even used to like imagine that it was filling with water and like what rooms were safer because their door jamb was taller. Like,
interesting.
I don't know why, but yes, 100%.
Okay, so I have polled many people because of this thought that came to mind. 100% of people did that as a kid.
Yeah. That's got to be something, right? Like, why?
Person.
Why do we do that?
Yeah.
Oh, psych segment. We'll get into that.
There's no unique experience.
No, there really is. I have yet to see one.
It's true.
Honestly.
It's like how as kids we all like followed the raindrops on the car
racing, like we raced them. Yeah.
Like, how did we all know to do that? Like, because I never talked to anybody about it.
No,
I know.
We all did it.
No,
I know. It's so weird. It really it is. It's weird.
Yeah,
we're all the same person.
Well, I'll explain why in psych side.
Okay. Sweet. So yeah, everything flips and it's upside down now.
Yeah.
And at some point there was something that was destroying his Legos and we hear some heavy breathing. The toys get like stuck to the wall. And then he says like, come to the basement.
Because the basement's where there's another scary, right?
Yeah.
Like with his eye.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't even remember.
He's
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was distracted because my next note when I'm like writing down what happened is I'm so agitated with how bored I am that I'm awake.
Yeah. No, it was a long movie that I really tried to pay attention to, but.
Well, and at this point, Brianna, I forget which one of us said what, but one of us said like, we're so mad about this movie, and we're like, well, we wish we would have known, but then we said, well, we wanted to go in blind. And then Brianna, I think it was you that was like, well, maybe this would have been a better movie if we were blind.
I did say that. I did say that. Yes. Yes, I did.
Because it
might have been.
You could imagine more stuff was going on. I don't know.
At least you can imagine it.
I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know.
Terrible.
Yeah, it was a rough one. Did I figure out how to roll over my 401k while watching it? Yes, because that seemed more interesting.
Well, see,
amazing.
That's the important
amazing
stuff.
But yeah, you do hear someone say Kevin, and then I think he goes down to the basement and he sees someone with no eyes and no mouth. So that's kind of a scary
sister,
moment.
I think. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, sister.
Is that then when he tells him to stab himself in the eyes?
It is.
Yeah, he says something like, I want to play at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So first I wrote down, his worm is gone. I think he had a toy worm.
Oh, he did have a toy worm.
Oh, yeah. We see it disappear.
Mm-hmm. So, his worm is gone.
Another
Lego's
important
moving.
plot point.
Mm-hmm.
The ghosty monster says, I want to play. And then the cartoon starts skipping.
Yeah. Yes. And so, like, stupid shit happens. And then the voice tells him to stab himself.
And then he tells him to, yes.
And he does.
But then
we hear it.
Which, like, felt so out of left field.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that moment didn't really feel scary to me.
No, exactly.
I was more just like, what?
I was like, all right, cool, next.
Right.
And then he starts crying.
Yeah.
And then we see, like, blood on some stuff. But then suddenly, the 911 call connects.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And he says, I hurt myself and I feel sick.
Yeah.
And then he, like, is trying to explain where he is. And he's like, I'm downstairs, but the door is gone.
Mm-hmm.
But then the phone
and
line
he's, like,
drops.
whispering. Yeah.
And
we hear, or do we hear? No, we see the subtitles for a 911 operator.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then the call, like, drops.
Yep.
And then we see it's, like, the fake phone now.
Right.
Like a toy phone.
Oh,
yeah. It's like one of those creepy toys phones with the eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We used to have one of those.
Oh, we totally had one of those.
And you would, like, pull the string and then the eyeballs would, like, move up and down.
Like Google. They're like,
Then we hear the demon kind of laughing, or the monster laughing. And he explains that Kaylee didn't do as she was told, and that said she wanted to be with mom and dad. So I took her mouth away. And then I wrote, come upstairs, I'll protect you.
Yeah, I think then he tells him to go upstairs.
Yeah. So yeah, then like we hear like creepy walking on ceiling, growling, and then suddenly we learn it's been 572 days.
Yeah, we get the most drawn out scene, which is like the toys and like the dollhouse, and like it zooms further and further out, where it's like, oh, like there's like no ceiling, like it's like they're in a void, but like it's a really long scene. And then, it says 572 days, which, like, again, I feel like at this point I was just confused. I was like, what? Like 500? What?
Well, because they don't explain, like, is this kid eating? And
yeah, that's what I
like,
thought.
Yeah, they like have cereal
in the beginning. Yeah,
at one point.
Well, yeah, but like that wouldn't last them years.
No, like it didn't make any. Where it's like I didn't even get the impression that like this was longer than a day.
No, me neither. I know.
During this very long, drawn-out scene, this is when I turned to Brianna and I said, this movie makes me want to punch you.
Her specifically.
I was like, honestly, fair. Like,
that's
kind
of fair. Yeah. So then we see the sister at some point, like sitting on the bed, and she like disappears. And she just starts to fade away. And then we get the photos, right, in the house. And they're all like, you can't see their faces, or they're like missing heads. Oh, and then we get this is another one where like the caption did more, where like we get the blood, but then the blood disappears, and you get the blood again, and then the blood just disappears.
Yes.
But in the caption, like I think it says like child the first time, like child screen, or like child some whatever, but then the second one it says like older child.
Yes.
So we do get a little bit more info with the captions there.
Yep.
So we get that, and then I think then that like at that point he just goes to the room, right? Because the voice is telling him to go to sleep.
Yes.
And he asks if, because again, there's cartoons playing the whole time. He's like, oh, can we like watch something happy? And he's like, just go to bed. And then Kevin asks, "What's your name?"
Yeah.
And then we see like a face.
Well, this is when
start
I
to
wasn't
form,
sure if it was a
right?
face or a potato.
Or a potato.
It did look a lot like a potato.
And then a potato comes in, and Mr. Potato Face asks
Yep.
what his name is.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's it. There's no credits. It just ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
At this point, I was really mad because we could have been watching Love Island instead.
I know.
Yep.
Of the 90 minutes or however long this movie was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. It was a long movie. I definitely stopped it an hour in and it was like, oh my God, like how are there 30 minutes left?
I know.
I must be done.
I know.
No, it was brutal.
Yeah.
Absolutely
It was
brutal.
very brutal.
Yeah. But anyway, that's Skinamarink.
That's it. That's the movie.
We did
We're
it.
done.
We watched it.
Yay.
I'd recommend if you were going to watch it at like 4 times speed. I
At
have a feeling it would
least.
hit just the same, probably.
Agreed.
Oh, we should talk about what we're sipping on.
Oh my God. Yeah.
In case this movie didn't put you to sleep.
Right,
Here's
exactly.
what will.
If you're a kid having nightmare visions of like the walls and ceilings and stuff, when we were kids and we had trouble sleeping, sometimes our parents would make us warm milk, which is, I think, a pretty common thing, right?
Mhm.
So this movie is guaranteed to put you to sleep. But in case it doesn't, I think we recommend pairing this with some warm milk.
Yes.
It's just as bland and boring as this movie. We'll put you to sleep.
Yes.
And there we go. That's what we pair it with today.
And that's what we chose.
Yep.
When was like the Got Milk campaign big?
Oh,
like, maybe I feel like that also kind of lines up with
Totally.
the timeline, right?
I agree.
95?
Oh my gosh, yes. Got Milk launched in 1993, and this movie's supposed to take place in 1995.
In 95. Yep, it all comes together.
Yep.
This is just an advertisement for milk.
Yeah, Big Milk finally got to us, guys.
Yep.
We're taking Big Milk money.
Yeah, you want to sponsor us? Oh my gosh.
I feel like this would be.
I don't know where to go from here.
I think this movie would be fine to like have in the background of a Halloween party because it's just dark, grainy shots.
That's true. It's good. It's a good background.
Not to
vibe.
watch, like it's like on the side somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
you just want spooky atmosphere.
Just so when people walk by, they're like, "Ooh, that's kind of spooky." That's
yes,
it.
and then you can walk away.
Yeah, totally.
Mhm.
I like. It would be good for that. That's the only thing it's good for.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. So wait, did either of you look up like theories, or do you have theories on what the movie meant, what it's about, what we just watched?
I have some theories that kind of relate to what ends up being the psych.
Ooh, okay.
So like I feel like it's a kid's fears at night, like when they're trying to go to bed, like looking and seeing shadows, being afraid that their parents are going to disappear in the night or that someone's like moving their toys. So I think it's just it's like childhood fears at bedtime.
Yeah, I got that vibe for sure.
That's what I would. Do you know of other theories?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen other where it's like, oh, like the kids are in like, I don't know, some sort of purgatory or like other dimension or whatever, where like the voice, is just torturing them basically.
Yeah.
And that's hence the 500 days or whatever. I mean, I do think this is the kind of movie where like it gave us nothing, so you could apply like whatever theory
you could go
to
any
it,
direction you wanted.
Really good.
The best one that I saw that like made me actually like the movie better after hearing the theory. It's like a big YouTube channel. I think they're called Film Theory. We should like share the video because their theory is that Kevin, when he hit his head, went into a coma and is in a hospital. And what we're experiencing is his coma dream.
Wait.
And like, I was like, wait, this would be so good because it's like, yeah, like eventually the doors and windows and even things like the toilet would disappear. Like you don't need that anymore. And it's like his parents are no longer there. His
The
like sister
575 days
starts to go as well. Like everything's just scary. And it's like, and what's in a hospital room playing all the time? A TV. Just like playing in the background, like getting all of those like noises and stuff. Even like the stabbing in the eye, like it was like what it could be him like getting a treatment, like something where like they had to go in through his eye to like treat something.
Or like even just checking like his eye reflexes and stuff.
Yep.
Oh wait, I love this.
So I think that was the best theory that I saw is like we're seeing his like coma dream. And it's like, and over time, like the things disappearing are also just him forgetting.
Yes.
So like the photos and like the distorted faces, like he would just forget what they look like. He would forget about his toys.
Oh, that's so sad.
It makes it much sadder.
It's really sad.
It makes it much sadder, but like, such a good explanation that I'm like, I wish they would have like actually used this because I didn't really get that, but like seeing this video made me like the movie more because this would be such a cool theory. And then their thought was that the end of the movie is like one of his parents finally like letting him go, like telling him to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And like him not even remembering his name because he's gone.
Yeah.
So I thought that was the
like
best.
It so much more.
No, right? Where it's like, oh, hey, yes.
Well, because I even told Laura, I was like, it may have even helped if like the end of the movie ended with him waking up in bed with like normal cinematography happening.
Yeah.
Like,
or in a hospital.
In a hospital bed.
Yes. With like the cartoon. Like honestly, that alone, I think would have gotten so many brownie points for me is like him waking up in a hospital room with like cartoons playing in the background.
That would have been amazing.
Or we seeing the scene of like the parents
them pulling the plug.
It's okay to go now, and then they unplug it and it flatlines, and you see the cartoon in the background. That would have been so.
That would have been so fucking sad.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. It so like, sad. I think this person's theory was like the best because it explained everything that we saw.
Right.
Like it actually kind of made sense. I mean, to me, I was like, why did the toilet disappear? And it's like you don't need a toilet in a coma.
Yeah. Like what a weird. Yeah.
But like, but the movie didn't give us any of that. That was someone else's theory. And I think that's where the short that he made before, which again, I didn't see, but I think in the short, the kid has cancer. And so it's like, that's, I think where part of that theory came from.
That's so sad.
So, I mean, it's so sad, but it makes the movie so good. Like the idea that like this is like his coma nightmare because like his real life is blending in to the dream, and the 500 days like would kind of make sense, and all these things coming and going and nothing making sense. Like that made the movie so much better for me, but the movie didn't give us any of that. So
no, it did not.
I can't give them brownie points for someone else's theory
idea of it for sure. No, but I love we'll share that because that's a really interesting take.
Yeah.
No, I think this is one where like if you sit with it for a while, you can apply a lot of theories to it. I think you have to be in the right space to want to do that. This isn't one that you can just watch because that did not work.
Also because that's not my job. You're the one that made the movie.
Yeah.
You do the hard work of making it decent.
Oh, also I think the cartoons told a lot of the story. I didn't really pay attention to the cartoons.
I tried to a little bit, but then I was like, no, never mind. Like, no, I don't care.
I think the cartoon told some of like the story of what was happening too.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's one scene where like the cartoon is like he's like literally opening a door, and then behind a door is just another door. So then he like opens it, and it's like again just like being trapped inside. So like I do think the cartoons weren't just random background cartoons. They like picked some that were relevant.
I mean I imagined that it would, because I mean I will give it seemed like an intentional movie.
Yeah.
So like I figured if he's putting it there, it's got to mean something. I just don't care at this point.
Yeah, I did like how they made that like disclaimer. I forget if it was the beginning or the end where it was saying, all of the cartoons or the
free
used were all open source, like free for public use. Cartoons,
yeah, the budget for this movie was $15,000, so they didn't exactly have a lot to spare.
Yeah, but still, I feel like with what we got, what did they spend the other $14,000 on? I don't understand.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I wish it would have given us a little. I think something at the very end. I think would have created more of an actual story.
Yeah.
I think also the only thing I don't see that theory working for is the fact that the movie looks the same at the very beginning. So like before he falls and hits his head, that's just what it looks like.
Right. True.
It's not like it like changed. So I don't know. I think there's theories and fun things that you can look at for this movie that might make it better, but I don't know if they quite did enough.
And I mean, also, like, sometimes movies are just bad.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I think about, like, the days before the internet. And I know that, like, there was still, like, community around movies. But, like, we didn't have all of this, like, additions to it. Like, if this movie had come out in the 70s, it'd be like, this was a shit movie. And that's it. There wouldn't have been, like, as much, you know?
Different perspectives or... Yeah. No, totally.
But to be honest, that's part of one of my favorite things about the horror community is like hearing other people's takes. Because sometimes like the hospital coma thing, I would have never thought of that. And I thought like, shit, that's so good.
Yeah. And it makes the movie better.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, I love the horror community because like that is where it shines, is in like the discourse after the movies.
For sure.
Know? Yeah.
Well, you just get, again, was it our cup of tea? No. Spoiler, you know, none of us loved it. But it is interesting. And I do think horror is one of the only genres that lets you do really weird stuff that like is still a movie.
Yes, I agree.
Like this was, again, their budget was $15,000. They made $2 million off of this movie.
Damn.
Like they very much, like this is a success.
Yes.
You know, like they did well.
Well, and sometimes watching really bad ones makes you appreciate the really good ones.
It does. It does.
I felt that way after Pure. That was bad in a different way. So that was a whole nother.
I love that you just keep using that as our
I can't because it's the worst movie I've ever seen in my whole life, I think.
Funny.
Like it's a terrible movie.
I know, I love that you like hate, like to me it was like just forgettable. Like I just don't remember it. But like I love that you know it's like more than that. Like you just
I don't feel like I hated it as much.
Like I could deep dive into that movie again. About it. I don't know. It just hit a nerve.
Okay, well, is it time to get into some psych on being patient and staring at the dark corners of your room?
Well, you know how we were just talking about the theories of this movie, of what it meant? I decided let's get into some psych theory again, like we used to back in the day.
I'm ready.
So I forget what movie it was, but a long time ago we talked about some like lifespan development theories. And I feel like we talked about maybe like Vygotsky's social learning theory or something like that. But we didn't super get into a ton of the Piaget stages of development.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about Piaget's.
Let's do it. I took a childhood psychology course, so I'm fluent.
So pretty much.
Well, it actually kind of fits for this movie. So Piaget basically like broke down, there's all these different stages that people go through when they're growing up. And the one stage is the pre-operational stage. And that is when you are between the years of around 2 to 7, which these kids totally were. Like, I don't know why I wrote down Kevin is 4.
Okay, I also thought he was 4.
Yeah. He just looked 4, like a little bigger than a toddler.
Yeah.
Still talked like a little guy.
Kaylee's maybe like 7 or something. So I feel like they're right in that pre-operational stage.
Yeah.
These kids. So yeah, I did bust out my lifespan development book.
Oh my gosh.
Nice. Look at that.
Get the textbook out.
So we're gonna talk about like what Piaget's pre-operational stage is and how I think it applies to what happened in this movie.
And now before Laura gets too far in, disclaimer.
Just remember, she's not a real doctor, but that's okay because this was just a dream. Or was it?
Okay, so the Piaget's pre-operational stage. So for it to be pre-operational, like what does he mean when he says like operations? Like cognitive operations? Any guesses?
I'm just like thinking of the game Operation with the guy.
Yeah.
Whole things.
Is it like before something develops or something?
Like I think that's when my anxiety started, was that game. You know?
Oh yeah.
Oh God. Every move you make is wrong.
It's really scary.
Horrible game.
That game is really scary. And just the buzzing and the vibrations. Oh gosh. No, so operations are when, like, that's when you're growing up and developing, and it starts to be that instead of just thinking about the things you're physically doing, you can also mentally do the thing instead of just physically doing it. So, like, instead of just like walking, you can think about walking. Or instead of just like, putting the puzzle together, you can think about how the puzzle goes together. So it's just a step above just physically doing something where you can mentally kind of manipulate things. So 2 to 7 is kind of before that stage. So there's 2 substages of this developmental stage. The one is symbolic function substage. And a couple of parts of this, notable parts of this is, one, it's kind of defined by egocentrism. I'm using big words today.
Yeah.
And really, that's a fancy way of just saying this is when kids can finally start to distinguish between their own and other people's perspective. So, like, understanding that what they are seeing or feeling might be different than somebody else. So this is just starting to develop around now. Also, what can happen in kids this age is animism, which that is when you can give inanimate objects lifelike qualities.
Oh, okay.
So typically that's good, and it can lead to a lot of good pretend play, and that's very developmentally appropriate and helps you develop and socialize and things like that. But it could also be really scary if, like, say you're looking at your wall and there's like a water stain and you see it kind of resembles a face, and then you're giving it this inanimate thing, you're giving it these lifelike qualities, like that thing might come and get you.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying.
So it's very developmentally appropriate that's why some of these like fears and things like can be happening right now.
Stealing is scary.
Exactly. So the second substage of Piaget's thing, and then I'll stop talking about Piaget a little bit.
Piaget.
Is that this is when kids start wanting to know the answers to things. And they also start asking, what if? So this is, I am theorizing, this is what leads to the fact that this is a 100% universal experience from my limited data. Why every single kid has like pictured what would it be like if my house was flipped and I walked on the ceiling, and we all walked on the ceiling instead of the ground. Because I think there's a few things that is going to do. It can build some spatial and like mental rotation. So like you're starting to, understand different perspectives and how things work. So that can kind of help in just imagining how things would be different. That can kind of help build that. And like, how would it rotate? That can like help you do like some, perceptual reasoning, visual spatial stuff. Also, before you can take on other people's perspectives, you might practice shifting your own. So in Piaget is saying this is when kids are starting to understand other people's perspective, but maybe like a kind of practice to that would be like, okay, well, what if I wasn't looking at this room in the way gravity is having me look at this room? What if things were different? And then that can maybe then lead to you understanding how other people might think different. So I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, just imagination is just important for development in general. And magical beliefs can kind of happen around this stage where you kind of can imagine, monsters or things that aren't real.
Yeah.
Kids also see it a lot in cartoons and games. They see like cartoon characters like Alice in Wonderland or whatever. You can see them like being on the ceiling, or like some of the cartoons they were watching, they probably like run up walls, or like Looney Tunes where they're running off a cliff and then they don't realize they're off the cliff, so they stay up until then they realize and then they fall down.
Yeah. And I think one of the cartoons has like a fake door, or where the key goes and tries to open, and then it's like, oh, it's just a poster or something. Yeah, like the Looney Tune gags.
Yeah. And I think one of the reasons why the kids in this movie do it, and people just in general do it in their own house, is because it's a very familiar setting. So practicing imagining how that familiar setting would be different, it's a very safe place to do that.
Mhm.
So I think that's kind of what leads these kids to be in this situation is just really, it's just their developmental age. Makes
That makes
sense.
sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
And I think that's why kids like get scared of the dark and closets and ceilings and things like that, because developmentally, all these things are happening at the same time, and it leads to that.
Yeah.
No, that totally makes sense.
I've got some more big words.
Okay. We're getting educated today.
What I feel like this movie was going for but failed. We're gonna see if I can say it correctly. I practiced and then I forgot. Pareidolia, I think, is what this movie was going for. Like pareidolia and sensory deprivation is how they were trying to get us to be afraid. So pareidolia, I might be saying this wrong. It's a type of apophenia.
Well then.
So
you know more than we do.
what it is it's the human tendency to perceive like a meaningful image or a pattern where there isn't one.
Mhm.
That's what the pareidolia is. So like, the face in the wall or like the water stain. So you perceive something that's really not there. Basically, it's the fancy way of saying your imagination, you get carried away with it.
Huh. Mhm.
So also with the sensory deprivation, I feel like they were trying to use both of those things to get us way scared. So
Mhm.
having a low amount of visual of things you can see, having everything be dark and you can't really tell what you're looking at, like the darkness, the grain, the shadows, it causes your brain to fill in the blanks, which is why I think, Brianna, you had a good point. This movie might have been better if we could not see it at all, because
I mean, we could barely see.
we could
Right.
barely see. But then we kept expecting to be able to see something, I guess, a little bit more.
So if it just hadn't been there at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think what they were going for was to try to like make it so dark and grainy that like our brains would fill in the blanks with something really scary,
Mhm.
but it just missed the mark a little bit.
Yeah.
But also like the distorted sound that they have, the fact that people didn't say much at all. It's like the patience and the anticipation that I kept having, I feel like it created this cognitive strain where it's like I kept just being like, what's happening? What's going on? Because there was nothing going on. And that creates you to feel uneasy, which then makes you more prone to feeling scared.
Yes.
I think the problem is like it just did it so much that I stopped being stressed. Like it wasn't like, oh, therefore it was effective. It was
Like you mentioned this, but it makes me think of Sinister because like, for example, Sinister did a lot of things where we're in the house at night and we can see the people in the room, but then they're looking down the hall and it's so black that we can't see what's down there. That I feel like that correctly created this fear in us.
Yeah.
In like a way that kept us engaged, but also afraid.
Yeah.
And like anticipating. And this just missed the mark on that.
Well, and I think it all comes down to this delayed gratification. So, like in Sinister, it builds the anxiety and the unease and the cognitive strain and builds it and builds it, builds it. And then boom, there's a release. Even if it's a scary release. And then it builds it again. And then this movie was all build up and no release. So you need both.
You do,
You need both in order to have that scary effect. If you only have nothing but scariness, that's going to wear off.
Yeah. Especially for 90 minutes. Again, effective as a short.
Yeah.
A spooky short can work really well.
Or as part of the movie, not the entire
90 minutes
movie.
of static was hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think maybe they just didn't quite understand that the psychological need of viewers to have a bit of variety and a bit of that release.
Yeah.
And had they understood that a bit better, I think it would have been a much better movie.
I agree. Interesting.
So while I think the makers of this movie understood Piaget's developmental stages appropriately, because they got it right for the pre-operational stage, they absolutely missed the mark with how to make things scary.
Yeah.
Agree.
So that's my psych segment.
Nice. All right. I don't even know where we were.
Okay, so
you were done, right?
I'm done. Yeah.
We're all done.
We are done.
We're done. Okay. is where we were.
Well, do we have any fun facts that we haven't talked
we
about?
have some fun facts. I think I mentioned some while we were talking.
Yeah.
But okay, the movie is based off of the, I don't know, children's song, rhyme. I don't know what it is.
Okay, so
Our mom used to sing it to us.
So when we were getting ready to watch it, I asked Laura, or she asked me, I don't remember, about like, is this the nursery rhyme? And then I was like, wait, Laura, we have to sing this for the podcast.
No,
but
I
now
don't
that
think
it's time, I can't do it. It's like,
this
it's
is
so
the only part.
stupid.
This is the only part that our mom would sing. Okay. Those, and it's not Skinamarink, it's Skidamarink.
Yes.
Which that's the one fact I know is that they changed it on purpose so kids
that
would
was
look up.
intentional.
Yeah. So, but the song goes Skidamarink-a-dink-a-dink, Skidamarink-a-doo. I love you. Skidamarink-a-dink-a-dink, Skidamarink-a-doo. I love you.
I love when we sing.
I love you in the morning. I love you at noon.
Evening?
I don't know. I love you in the evening and underneath the moon. Oh, Skidamarink-a-dink-a-dink.
It's so dumb. It's
love you.
It's a dumb little children's rhyme. But yes, our mom used to sing it
all the time.
Yeah, she liked that one for some reason, probably because it bothered us.
I like
No, I know.
It just kind of worked for the movie too, with all the cartoons and everything. Like,
because I was actually wondering, like, I'm assuming that it was inspired. The title was inspired by that.
I think so.
Right? Like, I can't imagine you would just come up with the word Skinamarink independent of.
Yeah.
But it's,
and
it's
then
like, I don't even know what it means.
A letter or something.
I don't like know where the nursery rhyme came from. Like, I don't know the history. It's just a random.
My thought would be it's kind of like a lullaby. At least that's how like no, she just sang it when she was like cleaning.
Yeah, it was more like a playful song.
So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just like a kid's like nursery rhyme, something. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry
I'll call her and ask her to record her singing.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Well, then we can compare which was worse, her or me.
Yeah.
Now. I was going to tell you to cut it out, but I know that means you're just going to put it in harder.
I'm going to turn up the volume, actually.
Extra. It'll be the opening.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So I already kind of mentioned this film was actually pretty successful. And I guess part of that is because they had like a glitch at one of like the online film festivals that it was going to show on, and people were able to pirate it. So we were able to pirate the movie pretty quickly. And
the quality must have been terrible.
Can you imagine?
Like, how worse can it get? Maybe it made it better somehow. I don't know.
No, honestly, I think it did, because people pirated it and then clips from it went viral on like TikTok and stuff. Because again, honestly, the trailer for this movie, little scenes from this movie make it look like it's pretty good.
Yes,
right.
So if you just saw little clips, people were interested. So it actually kind of blew up. Like the creator, was like disappointed, obviously, that it got pirated. But like, part of me is kind of like, I don't know, would it have been as successful if it didn't like blow up online because of that?
Not.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably
well, because
not.
like I didn't know anything about this movie. I feel like maybe I remembered the movie poster like somewhere in my archives, but I thought it was an old movie. I had no idea it was
it looked like it, like the film.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that it was like a recent movie, but I didn't really hear about it that much. So yeah, it probably did help it.
Well, that's why I kind of was thinking maybe it was just bigger in Japan or something, which I now I'm realizing that's not the case, but because I hadn't recognized the name of it or had heard of it.
Yeah.
So, and then, made the mistake of not looking anything up.
Because the poster is creepy. It's, the back of the kid in the hall.
That's what makes it more fun, though, is, not knowing anything. You just get to experience it.
It almost felt like Poltergeist vibes, the poster.
Yeah,
because it's that like blue TV light,
Yep.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mentioned there's a short that predated this. The short is called Heck, in case you want to look it up.
I feel like I do, because I feel like...
I know, right? I feel like I do too.
I'm mad at this movie, but maybe I can. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I can forgive it if the short one is better.
I wouldn't go that
Yeah,
far, but
I don't know. I don't know. And I'm again completely shocking fun facts. It only took them 7 days to film the whole movie.
nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Surprising, I know. How did they manage to squeeze all this in?
Right.
The $15,000 budget was raised through like crowdfunding on the internet. Again, he had a YouTube channel, so I think that's how they like got it all together.
Okay.
And then my last fun fact is that not including the cartoon dialogue, there's only like less than 500 words of dialogue in this movie.
Honestly, I'm surprised it's
That
not
high.
like
That
less than
seemed
20.
high.
Yeah.
That seemed
Yeah.
high.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's my fun facts for Skinamarink.
A lot of fun facts for a fun movie.
Oh,
Mhm.
what a journey.
Mhm.
The thing is, I think when I first looked up the movie, I landed on like the other side of the internet, which was like a bunch of like super positive reviews. People being like, that was the scariest movie I've ever seen. Like that was so good. So like, I think there's a lot of people that think this is one of like the best movies. Like I think if it hits for you, it just hits.
Mm.
But if it doesn't, then like us, you're just staring at a TV for 90 minutes.
Well, and
Mhm.
Laura and I even talked about that because we were saying that there were a lot of good reviews. And
Yeah.
I think part of it is like, if you aren't a big horror fan, I could
Yeah.
see how like maybe this felt scary.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're like really into horror,
Mhm.
Yeah.
this just misses the mark, not because of its scariness, but like
Mhm.
it doesn't have all the right ingredients to come together as a
Yeah.
cohesive
Like, I mean,
film.
like if you're looking for like plot or,
So,
you know,
like,
to
if
like
you're
see
not
what's going on
Mhm.
or like
Mhm.
character.
if you're just there to like watch it and be like, ooh, and not really think much about it, or then like, yeah, okay, you could see it as a scary movie.
Honestly,
If
I
you
feel
have
like it's
any
almost,
taste at all, though.
I think it's almost the opposite. Like, I think this movie would be better if you are going to sit there and overthink the whole
Yeah,
thing.
that's true.
Like, I
Yeah.
think that's who enjoyed this movie is the people who like did sit there
Analyzed
for
it.
90 minutes and say, no, wait, there is a face. And like
Right.
they stuck
Yeah.
to it. And like they were paying
Mhm.
attention to the cartoons
Right.
and the stories
No,
that the
that's true.
cartoons were telling and like all of these things. Like, I think if you, and I was feeling lazy when I watched this movie. I thought it was going to be spooky vibes in the background and like kind of fun. But like, this is not a lazy watch. This is like, if you want to enjoy this, I think the only way to enjoy it is to do it that
Buy-in.
way, where like
Yeah.
you're really
Right.
like, what's happening? Like, what are the theories here? Where are we? Where are the kids? What's the cartoon doing?
Yeah.
What does that shot mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think if you are like a film person, you would probably really like this movie because it is interesting in that sense, and that
Yeah.
it's unlike a normal movie.
I mean, it
Right.
kind of feels like if you want to watch the movie for what it is, you won't enjoy it. If you
Mhm.
want to watch the movie and to turn it into something that it isn't, then yeah, you'll like it. Like if you want to just completely fabricate storylines,
Yeah.
images, and dialogue, great. You'll like this movie. But
Yeah.
otherwise,
I will say if like somehow you haven't watched it yet and you're thinking about it, like watch the first 20 minutes, and if you're not into it, just don't keep watching.
Just stop.
It's
Just
stop
doesn't-
watching.
you're
You're
not-
good.
it's not
you're good.
it's not going to change.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Or watch it at 2 times speed. I honestly,
I
I'm
wanted-
kind of wondering how that would look.
I literally said that as we were watching. I was like, I wish we could watch movies at 2 times speed,
Yeah.
like we
Yeah.
can, like on YouTube or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I rented on YouTube, so I wonder if you could.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
That's for attention spans. I'm just going to
I
watch
know.
this at 2 to 4 times speed.
Yep. Oh. All right. Well, if you haven't made up your mind about what you're going to do, here's our ratings, anyways. Because here on Spooky Sips, we don't give stars, we give sips.
Yeah.
So out of 5 sips, where you at?
Here's the thing.
Does it have redeeming quality?
The idea is good, and if they had limited it to 15 minutes, it would have been scary. But I just
Yeah.
feel like they ruined it.
Yeah.
Like they ruined any redeeming qualities to me. I just
Yeah.
really didn't like it.
Yeah,
I
I get
didn't
that.
find it scary. In fact, when I just think of the viewing experience, and it got me angry. It made me want to punch my sister.
It made you feel something, though.
It did. So I give it a 0. 0 sips.
Damn. A straight 0.
Straight 0. I really didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's where I'm at. I'm going to bring in my favorite movie of the episode. We're going to talk about Pure again. And here's why. Because on Pure, I gave it a 1.
I did not expect Pure to keep coming up so much. That's so funny.
But on Pure, I gave a 1. And here's the thing. I did not like Pure. It was a shitty movie, but it was also that kind of like campy, exaggerated.
I love a campy movie.
You know what I mean? And I think back to it sometimes. Like I'll have moments where something reminds me and I think of like the creepy dads or like, there's something that I'm like is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I feel like campy horror has a time and a place. Now, I don't think they were trying to be necessarily.
No.
That was what made it so bad.
Yeah.
But there was just nothing about this movie. Like there was no substance. Like it was just an empty. I could have watched actual TV static for 90 minutes.
You could have. Mm-hmm.
And so the truth is, like, I would recommend Pure to a handful of people that I know would think it was funny. I can't think of a single person that I would put this on.
That's so funny.
So I'm giving it a 0.
Oh my God.
2-0.
Because
Crazy.
I would, not only did I not like it, but I would not recommend it. I wouldn't even be ambivalent. I would be like, no, don't do it.
Okay. I didn't realize I was going to come on here to defend the movie. I'm not going to give it a 0.
I mean, that's very generous of you. There's always got to be somebody, I guess.
I know. And that's only because, like, to me, I actually, like, not that I can, like, think of, like, someone personally, but I can see who would like this movie. I do think there's a group of people out there that this would hit. And maybe it was because I experienced sleep paralysis for the first time ever in my life right before watching this movie that, like, I think especially at the beginning, I was like, oh my God, like, this is what a scary dream feels like. So I do think I was, like, in a space to have this be scarier. So that's why when I started watching it, I was kind of like, oh yeah, like this is what a nightmare feels like. Like I appreciated that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not my favorite. I probably wouldn't watch it again unless I could watch it at 4 times speed. But like, I don't think it's a 0. I think it gets like a 1.5.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's quite high.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and it's something that we always talk about here on the pod is that like, sometimes I almost feel like we need 2 different ratings. We need the watching experience rating.
Yeah.
And then the discussion rating.
Oh,
because
yeah.
there's a lot of movies that like, I did not like,
yeah.
But then we come here and we chat about it. And I'm like, well, shit, I like talking about it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like either for this one. So
yeah.
I'm out.
It's
I
true.
will say the coma theory, though. I think that alone
that was
bumped
the
it
only
up for
saving
me.
grace.
That would have
like,
bumped it to a 1 for me.
Yeah, and like
yeah.
again, you can't give them credit because like they didn't really give us any of that in the movie. That was like
like if you want to make it
person's
something, it's not
theory and stuff. And like but then it was like thinking back, I think it made the movie better. So that might be part of it for me.
Agreed. Fair. That's so fair.
We did it.
All right. Well, they can't all be winners, you know?
No, they can't all be movies.
No. No.
Well, speaking of them not all being movies.
Okay, so we gave you a bad one this week, you guys, and we're sorry for that.
And we made you wait for it. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I know. The anticipation did not pay off.
No, it did not.
We apologize.
It did not.
But we'll make up for it because we are headed to Vegas.
Heck yeah.
Yes, we are.
Spooky Sips road trip.
Vegas, baby.
Because we're going to go to the Universal Horror Experience.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
we'll
like, when this episode comes out, I think it'll, like, have just opened.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, so we're not going on opening weekend, but we're going
right after.
After.
Like, right
yes,
after.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because when we bought the tickets, I didn't even really know anything about it. like I knew a very vague sense, but like I have people being like, oh, so what are you going for? I'm like, I don't know. It's like a horror thing. It'll be great. So I don't even know, but it's going to be good no matter what. So.
Yeah, honestly, I don't actually know what it is.
No, I don't either.
And like their website is very vague, but like I love Universal, so I'm excited for it.
No, it's going to be
I'm so
good.
excited. It's going to be
we're going to take you guys with us. So if you don't follow us on our socials, and by that I mean mostly Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
Follow us. We're just at Spooky Sips Podcast. You'll find us if you search. Follow along. Come with us.
Yep.
Get watching. Get sipping. And we'll see you next time on Spooky Sips.
Bye. See you in Vegas.
Bye. See you in Vegas.
Thank you for listening to Spooky Sips. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you're listening. To stay up to date on all the spooky things we're up to, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at SpookySips_podcast. And if you want to help support the podcast, consider buying us a coffee or really a cocktail. We are completely independent, so every little bit goes a long way to keeping our podcast running and improving. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.